Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're taking a closer look at Nigeria's political scene, especially with 2027 kind of looming on the horizon, right? Lots of moves being made by the key players. So, what's the main focus for us today? What are we really digging into?
Right. Well, our main goal really is to unpack these pretty significant developments around Nigeria's National Opposition Coalition Group, the NOCG. They've made this big move, deciding to adopt the African Democratic Congress, the ADC, as their unified party.
Okay.
But we're also going to focus in specifically on Dr. Umar Ardo. He's a major player in this coalition. And he's got this interesting proposal for a new party, too, the ADA, the All-Democratic Alliance.
Ah, okay.
Right. So for you listening, if you're hoping for change in 2027, if you want to get a handle on who's shaping things, well, that's what we're aiming for, a clear, insightful picture.
Got it. Okay, so let's start with the coalition itself, the NOCG. This isn't just some, loose group getting together. It sounds more formal.
Oh, definitely. It's a deliberate formation. We're talking about eminent opposition politicians coming together.
Yeah.
And yeah, they made a really strategic decision. They've decided to fuse into and adopt the African Democratic Congress, the ADC. That's their single unified platform heading into 2027. It's a strong signal, choosing one vehicle.
Instead of just an alliance. So what's the driving force? What's their mission statement, so to speak?
Well, they've explicitly tasked themselves with a powerful mission. They want to, and I'm quoting here loosely, redirect Nigerian democracy and national politics away from its drift towards anarchic dysfunction and systemic mediocrity.
Wow. Okay, so strong words.
Very strong. It tells you this isn't just about winning an election. It's a real effort to forge a completely new political force. They're basically trying to challenge and, well, upend the current establishments they feel are failing Nigeria. It's a call for a reset.
And central to all this, you mentioned Dr. Umar Ardo. He keeps coming up. Tell us a bit about him. Who is he and why is he so important here?
Right. Dr. Umar Ardo. He's, first off, a real strategic thinker, formidable mind. He's 64, an intellectual, trained as a historian. He's lectured at university. But he's also widely seen as a political strategist of, well, considerable repute. He's not just watching from the sidelines. He's actively trying to shape what comes next. And his personal qualities, they really stand out. He's well-educated, seems quite healthy, carries himself with real confidence and self-worth.
Okay.
Personality-wise, people describe him as charismatic, confident, but also down-to-earth, deeply patriotic, very committed to turning things around, the socioeconomic and political decline. And importantly, while he's assertive, he makes sure to back up his points. He uses facts, historical evidence. That gives his arguments real weight.
That definitely sounds like a leader. So for someone trying to grasp the thinking behind potential future leaders, what's a core principle for Dr. Ardo?
The core thing, really, is competence and meritocracy in government. He doesn't just talk about it. He's actually trying to build systems for it.
Yeah.
Like, his strategic thinking is clear in this leadership selection template he developed. It's called the Order of Mean Score.
Order of Mean Score. What's that?
Think of it like a scorecard designed to objectively evaluate candidates based on clear criteria, experience, policy know-how, integrity, that sort of thing. The idea is to try and take some of the raw politics out of choosing leaders. It's a pretty fundamental shift he's pushing for.
That is a different way of thinking. Now, how does this vision play out? You mentioned his role in the League of Northern Democrats, the LND.
Yeah, the LND, he convened that group. It's dedicated to reshaping the political path of northern Nigeria, and they're big believers in merit-based leadership.
So a regional focus.
Well, yes and no. What's fascinating is how his politics, while it looks regional on the surface, is actually deeply nationalistic. His goal is to revive the glory days of northern Nigeria, but as a key part of a stronger, united Nigeria. He's very active with groups like the Arewa Consultative Forum, the ACF, building bridges for change both regionally and nationally. He sees northern strength contributing to national strength.
That his past experience seems really relevant here. He was a presidential advisor under Obasanjo, right? Working with Atiku Abubakar.
Exactly, from 1999 to 2006. And that period, it seems, really shaped his views. He observed what he saw as a decline in northern leadership after figures like, Sir Ahmadu Bello or General Murtala Muhammad. But he wasn't just watching. He got involved in trying to restore unity among northern elites, seeing that as crucial for restoring their political influence nationally. And here's maybe a surprising bit of history.
Oh.
Dr. Ardo was apparently the one who actually came up with a strategic plan pushing for a power shift to the South-South. He initiated and guided the 2007 campaign for Dr. Peter O'Dealy for president as director of strategy.
Really? O'Dealy, who was then pushed aside for Yar Adua.
The very same. O'Dealy was, as the sources say, unceremoniously forced out. It just shows how deep Dr. Ardo's involvement in national strategy goes, and for how long, even behind the scenes.
Wow. That certainly paints a picture of a strategist. So back to the NOCG. What was his specific role in deciding on their platform?
Well, his strategic thinking was clearly valued. He was appointed secretary of the committee tasked with choosing that unified platform. A big responsibility.
Okay.
And this is where that dual approach we mentioned comes in. It's quite intriguing. While the group ultimately went with the ADC, Dr. Ardo had apparently cautioned against only joining an existing party.
Why was that?
He was worried about potential legal pitfalls, unforeseen problems down the line, so his recommendation was also accepted. Register a brand new party, the All-Democratic Alliance, ADA, to act as a safety valve.
A safety valve, like a backup plan.
Exactly, just in case something went wrong with the ABC route. So now both things are happening at the same time. Some members join the ADC, others are pushing for the ADA's registration with INSC, the Electoral Commission.
That does show some independent thinking, and maybe some caution.
Deep thinking, definitely. Always having a contingency.
So for you listening, hoping for a stable, unified opposition in 2027, why does this two-pronged strategy actually matter? What does it tell us?
Well, it suggests they're thinking ahead, right, trying to build in some resilience. It acknowledges that the path to change in Nigerian politics isn't always simple or predictable. It's a comprehensive approach to a complex problem.
Okay, let's shift slightly to his views on governance itself. He emphasizes competence, merit, but what about the rules, the constitution, the courts?
Right. This is key to understanding him. He firmly believes Nigeria needs serious structural reforms, yes. But he disagrees with people who just blame the Constitution for everything. He thinks we need to put more emphasis on leadership quality, on character, on basic values.
So it's not just the system, it's the people running it.
Exactly. His view aligns with what many believe, that Nigeria's problems are deeply rooted in issues of leadership, character, and frankly, institutional decay. He sees the Constitution and the courts as, well, the ultimate guides, the arbiters. Their rules shouldn't just be ignored if you want democracy and rule of law to mean anything. He strongly advocates for people who actually understand the Constitution, the laws, to be in charge, to rescue politics from, as he might put it, mediocrity and lawlessness.
He sounds quite principled on that.
Very. And this firm stand, his willingness to fight these battles, it actually had a huge impact on his own path, even leading to the formation of the APC.
Wait, how did that happen?
Well, his stand against impunity, against disregarding the rules, it led him into court battles, lots of them. He challenged illegal actions by the state government and Adamawa under Murtala Nyako. He challenged the federal government under President Goodluck Jonathan, and he took on his own party, the PDP.
He wasn't afraid to sue his own party.
Not at all, if he believed they were breaking the rules. And it was these actions, these fights, that ultimately forced him out of the PDP.
Okay.
But he didn't just leave. He then developed the strategic blueprint, the plan, whose implementation led directly to forming the All Progressives Congress, the APC.
The party that eventually won in 2015.
The very one. Its success in 2015, leading to Buhari's presidency, was partly rooted in the strategy Ardo developed after leaving the PDP. So he's not just analyzing politics, he's actively shaped major national outcomes.
That's a significant impact. His influence seems to go beyond just politics, though. You mentioned extensive networks.
Oh, absolutely. A lot of that was built during his time lecturing at the Nigerian Defense Academy, a key institution, and then as special assistant to the VP on local government affairs.
Right, that makes sense.
Those roles gave him deep connections across Nigeria's elite. Top politicians, traditional rulers, religious leaders, business figures. And what's quite telling is, years after leaving the presidency, he's still reportedly very close to former President Obasanjo, part of his inner circle.
Interesting.
Plus, his work with the L&D in the North has built him vast connections there, too. That makes him a really valuable asset within the NOCG. His network is broad and deep.
And outside of politics and networking, he's also a businessman.
Yes, quite involved. He founded Arbel Energy, which represents a U.S. company, Zico Inc., in the oil and gas sector.
Which is obviously huge for Nigeria.
Crucial. And what's interesting about Arbel Energy is its focus on capturing and processing flared gas.
Gas flaring. That's the burning off of gas during oil extraction, right? Huge environmental issue.
Exactly. It's incredibly wasteful and polluting. So his company is working to curb that in the Niger Delta, which has both environmental and social benefits, turning waste into value.
That's commendable. Any other ventures?
He's also in the hospitality business, currently building a Marriott hotel franchise right in Abuja's central business district.
So a diverse portfolio, and yet he still identifies as an academic, a historian. How does that fit in?
It fits perfectly, actually. He holds a doctorate in history, still deeply interested in Nigeria's past, especially around leadership and constitutional issues. This background allows him to challenge divisive narratives with real intellectual rigor. That's why the media seeks him out so often. His latest book, Court and Politics, details the problems in Nigeria's political culture based on his own experiences. So while he calls himself a politician, many see him more as a political activist because he's candid, courageous, fearless, and acts decisively. He's always using history to understand and try to fix present problems.
Like connecting past disregard for law to current instability.
Precisely. He argues it's a root cause, not just a symptom. His historical lens informs his push for constitutionalism today.
It's fascinating how he blends these roles. What about his personal life? It's often hard to balance such demanding public roles.
It seems he manages. He maintains a stable marriage with his wife, who's 54. And interestingly, despite his Islamic faith allowing polygamy, he's monogamous, devoted to their bond.
That's noteworthy.
And his resilience seems evident in how he supported his family through incredibly tough times, like the traumatic kidnapping of his eldest daughter for ransom.
That must have been horrific.
Unimaginable. But it shows his ability, perhaps, to keep perspective, balancing love, family, and his sense of national duty, even through profound personal challenges.
Okay, so looking ahead, given everything we've discussed, his background, his ideas, his actions, what are his strategic goals as we approach 2027?
Well, it's clear he's not just pointing out problems. He's actively trying to find solutions, workable fixes. That order of means score idea, for instance, it's part of a much bigger ambition to fundamentally reshape Nigeria's political culture.
Right.
And he engages regularly with former presidents Obasanjo, Babangida, Abdulsalami Abubakar, and other major leaders like General T.Y. Danjuma, General Agwai, General Dambazawa.
What's the purpose of those meetings?
It seems he's trying to tap into their collective experience, learn from the past to find the, quote, best cures for the social malaise and governance ailments of Nigeria today. Plus, his work with the L&D in the North, focusing on rebuilding institutional and moral foundations there. That could become a really significant political force, given the North's importance nationally.
So he's involved in these high-level consultations, clearly trying to influence 2027 and beyond, a real architect behind the scenes.
Definitely. And the prognosis for 2027?
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's a growing call for a major shift, a recalibration of the political culture. Answering that call likely means moving beyond just grabbing power. It means renewal, led by maybe a new generation, people with fresh vision, innovation, moral clarity.
And you see Dr. Ardo fitting that mold.
The sources suggest people see him that way, yes. Someone in his mold could lead such a shift. And given his drive, his courage, his persistence, there's a lot of talk, widespread opinion, that he might just step up himself, meaning he might throw his own hat in the ring for 2027, maybe vying for a chief executive role, governor, or even, perhaps, higher at the state or national level.
Interesting. So to wrap up this deep dive then, Dr. Ardo emerges as this really multifaceted figure, intellectual, strategist, patriot, demanding accountability. He blends history, political action, business, social advocacy, all into this vision for Nigeria's future, making him definitely one of the key leaders to watch as 2027 approaches.
Absolutely. And maybe a final thought for you, our listener, to chew on. Given Dr. Ardo's deep commitment to constitutionalism and his own tough experiences with electoral issues in the past, what specific challenges do you think the NOCG will face, especially if they try to unite behind one platform or maybe even two and navigate Nigeria's really complex political terrain on the road to 2027?
That is a crucial question, isn't it? Because unity in the opposition has always been such a challenge in Nigeria. How will his specific approach play out in practice?
Exactly. Navigating the legalities, the personalities, the entrenched interests, it won't be simple.
Yeah.
The path to real change rarely is.
Well, that's certainly given us a lot to think about. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the forces shaping Nigeria's political future. Keep exploring, stay informed. We'll catch you next time.